Welcome back to Do Your Things. I'm your host, Riley.
And I'm the better host, Daniel.
And together we're going
to think deeper.
Okay. Okay, so we all enjoy a good laugh. Some even say that humor is the best medicine. According to Cleveland Clinic, laughing provides countless health benefits such as increased stress relief, increased action in your body, heart health, and is an overall social bond strengthener. It's used in times of happiness, sadness, stress, and even anger. Humor is also used for different purposes. How many times have you been in an awkward conversation and made a joke to help lighten up the mood? How about feeling upset about your fish dying and responding to the situation with jokes about how he just wasn't a good enough swimmer and drowned, or that he just needed a change of scenery anyway? Jamie E. Bockington's Ambulance Thieves, Clowns, and Naked Grandfathers, How PSC and Their Families Use Humorous Communication as a Sense-Making Device, is a study done that evaluates emotion, humor, and how people, more specifically public safety employees, also known as PSEs, use humor to make sense of their lives as well as at work.
The 19-page research study is quite intriguing. Bachtin gets the narratives of police officers, firefighters, and their partners and children, and she goes to understand how these individuals interacted and differed from what they found to be productive and unproductive uses of humor.
Now, what would you consider to be a productive and unproductive use of humor?
In context of the study, the productive uses of humor used by PSCs were to teach their children valuable lessons. The family members used this humor as a way to talk about their family members' experience in a public service job position.
So basically, this one PSE told his daughter about the drunk, naked grandfathers or high on marijuana, ambulance-stealing women to advise her from using drugs or alcohol.
I have got to write this stuff down.
On the other hand, some people use humor in the wrong context or at the wrong time. Now, I know you guys have all done this too.
I'm sure you have, but I have never done such a thing. I'm particularly good at reading social cues.
It's not even about that either. Switching your humor happens all the time, like from friend group to friend group. You know how there's certain jokes you can make in one friend group but not the other? It's basically the same thing. It's also referred to as unproductive uses of humor. Like when Daniel told his grandmother that he saw his grandpa, who had passed away 2 months prior, after seeing a poster of Santa Claus, and his grandmother would then refuse to leave the house for a month straight.
To me, it was funny. I didn't mean to cause any harm, but I apologize, Grandma.
Exactly. What you find humorous can be completely different than what Timmy finds funny, and that's what Bach can examine. We can also see how different people's humors compares based on the definition of humor in the short article by Edward Carrett called "She Didn't Like the Trick Her Husband Pulled on Their Wedding Day."
Alright, I'll take over. So this couple was engaged, and their special day finally arrived. The ceremony is going on, everything is beautiful, and it is finally time for the "may I please have the ring" part. The best man, who's in charge of the ring, reaches into his pocket and pulls out a beautiful, shiny, large box of Cracker Jacks. Don't fret, he continued looking for the ring in his pocket, but the groom grabs the box and from his best man, snatches some caramel corn and nuts and says, "Bro, let's just eat it until we see the ring." Alright, don't worry, we found the ring. Gave the audience a good laugh and the show went on. However, the bride found zero amusement in the joke.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame the lady. I probably would have been upset.
I actually found it really amusing and a great way to add a special touch to your wedding.
So, in this situation, what one person found hilarious, another person found much frustration from. This is an example of Bachman's explanation of unproductive use of humor. Instead of creating light of the situation or adding positive feelings, the receiver of the message was filled with negative emotions. In this scenario, the couple were such opposites with regard to humor that they ended up divorcing 3 years later. That really shows the effect the approach to humor has on relationships.
You can't really blame them though. That's just the way people cope sometimes, and they should be allowed to do so.
Don't get me wrong, I completely agree with you. However, there are certain moments where a situation can be handled differently to ensure relational satisfaction. All in all, this study helped indicate that the use of humor helps more than just getting through the stress of the day. It helps in sense-making, maintaining a preferred identity, easing family tension,
When used correctly.
and helps provide a link in relational bonding. Through the scenario of the police officer and his daughter, we also know that humor can be used as a sense-making tool to influence others. The officer told his daughter these embarrassing stories in a humorous way, and now the daughter hopefully has no interest in drinking or doing drugs. Again, this emotional method has multiple purposes.
Not like every lesson. Remember that everyone's experience varies based on cultural, environmental, and personal factors. Take all this information, pick and choose what you want to take from it, apply it to your everyday life, become a better human, and of course, think deeper!